start to our day. Now, I'm hoping that you might be able to have a guess at what that was all about. So lots of very excited people. While you're guessing, I'm going to light my candle. Lots of very, very excited people. Oops, I'm not going to light my candle. I need to charge up my little magic stick. So I think I've got some matches still tucked away in here. So I will light my candle, and I know that some of you will be aware of what a special day it was yesterday. Okay, there's my candle lit for you today. It was such a special day. It was Palm Sunday, and you should have a little palm cross in your classroom that is especially for you, so that you can think about that special day that was yesterday. So I'm going to also say, peace be with you. Thank you, guys. That was amazing. And moving on, why is Palm Sunday so important to Christians? So why was that so important? You could see it was important for all those people that were so excited to see Jesus. But Palm Sunday is something that is celebrated now because it's the start of the most important week in the year to Christians. And it is this week, our Holy Week. So Holy Week ends with Easter. And churches have very special services. There was a special service in the church yesterday. It wasn't actually in the church, it was online. It was a wonderful service. I really enjoyed that. And some churches give out palm crosses. So you can see all of those people there have got the same palm crosses that you should now have in your hands, I am hoping. So what was that all about? Was it all about? So you could see there Jesus arriving in Jerusalem, and people were so excited to see him because they'd heard about the special things that he'd done. And I want you to think about that. He'd done some really special things. So people didn't just think, oh wow, Jesus is coming, because they'd heard about him. It was because of the special things that he'd done. And people were crying out, Hosanna! And some people believe that to be help me, and some people believe that to be hooray. So we're not entirely sure why people were saying that, but it is known to be a celebration. So that's probably why. And I wanted to tell you about how Palm Sunday is celebrated around the world. So we celebrate it in different ways. We have our church services. In the Netherlands, palm crosses are decorated with sweets and bread. In the Philippines, people act out the story of Palm Sunday with somebody dressing up as Jesus and riding on a real donkey. We do that too sometimes. And in Spain, people go on special walks called processions, and they wear their best clothes or special costumes. So people celebrate it in different ways. And I don't know if you remember, was it last year or the year before? I think it was the year before, my goodness. We had a donkey come and visit us because Adele organised that for us. And we will be having that again when times get easier, because that was just amazing and helped us really appreciate Palm Sunday. So I want you to have some little thoughts now before we move on. I want you to have a think about these things. So, those people were super happy to see Jesus. But who are you happy to see? How do you show them that you're happy to see them? Why do you think that Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey? And also, do you know the rest of the Easter story? Now, let's have a think about that. So who are you happy to see? Well, I'm always happy to see people that I love. And at the moment, because I haven't seen them in real life for a while, I know I'm going to be even happier. But when I think about that, I think about, well, why do I love those people? And I was thinking, well, it's because they're kind, and it's because they make me laugh. And I guess also I could say it's because they're good people. And a little bit like those people were so pleased, as I say, to see Jesus because they believed him to be a good person who did good things. So who are you happy to see? Have a think about that. You might want to pause and have a talk about it. It's entirely up to you. How do you show that you're happy to see them? Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? So when Jesus came into Jerusalem, people waved their palm crosses, and we might wave at people when we're happy to see them. We might also go like this at the moment when we're happy to see people. Hopefully soon we'll be able to hug them. That will be exciting, won't it? Why do you think he rode in on a donkey? I think you should pause and have a think about that. Why did he ride in on a donkey? I think it was because, although there weren't the same modes of transport, I think that Jesus maybe wanted to show that he was humble and show that he wasn't more important than others. So he rode in on a donkey to show them that. And do you know the rest of the Easter story? Well, your teachers are going to be talking a lot about the Easter story over the next few days. And we've also got the signpost team coming in later this week. So you will have lots of chance, if you don't know all of the Easter story, to think about that. Okay, now we are going to sing an Easter song, and hopefully you'll be able to join in with the actions.
We have a king who rides a donkey. We have a king who rides a donkey. We have a king who rides a donkey, and his name is Jesus. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen early in the morning. Trees are waving a royal welcome. Trees are waving a royal welcome. Trees are waving a royal welcome for the king called Jesus. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen early in the morning. We have a king who cares for people. We have a king who cares for people. We have a king who cares for people, and his name is Jesus. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen early in the morning. What shall we do with our life this morning? What shall we do with our life this morning? What shall we do with our life this morning? Give it up in service. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen early in the morning. We have a king who rides a donkey. We have a king who rides a donkey. We have a king who rides a donkey, and his name is Jesus. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen. Jesus, the king is risen early in the morning.
Well done, guys. Lovely singing this morning. Now it's just time for our prayer. So we're going to put our hands together and close our eyes, and we will do a big amen at the end, just like David's amens. So, dear God, please help us to appreciate those people that we are excited and pleased to see. Please help us think about why we are pleased to see those people, and help us to always enjoy that celebration. In your name, Amen. Have a lovely day, guys.